So first, let us discuss muna what is irrigation. So we know naman that irrigation is the controlled application of water for agricultural purposes through man-made systems to supply water requirement that is not satisfied by rainfall. No? So basically, if we have a good water source or irrigation, we are expecting to produce a good quality crops or mas mataas yung yield natin. So different irrigation system, pwedeng from a simple system like yung paggamit ng mga cans, okay? And from the sophisticated system like yung ating mga sprinkler and drip irrigation, okay? So irrigation is a key components ng ating agriculture. So if we have a good irrigation, that is vital throughout the world, no? In order to provide the world's ever-growing population with enough food. So yun yung isang pinakamagandang reason kung kung kaya't kailangan natin ng magandang irrigation system, okay? Kasi kung wala tayong good source of water, definitely maapektuhan yung ating production and magkakaroon tayo ng issue with food security. Okay, so syempre, sabi nga natin, we need to have a consistent water supply, especially ngayon, although patapos na, but the recent months natin is meron tayong El Nino. Okay? So we need to ensure that we have a consistent supply of water to plants so that they can produce more. Okay? We can have a better yield, and it allows us para maiplano nating mabuti kung kailan tayo magtatanim. Okay? So hindi tayo nakadepende doon sa tubig ulan. Okay? Then of course, sabi nga natin, it will improve yung ating crop yield. So it will lead to higher and more reliable crop yield. So if we will provide yung ating crops with proper irrigation, so we are expecting na yung ating mga crops will provide or will produce good quality crops and higher yield because yung ating mga crops will reach yung kanilang full potential. So we are expecting more yield kapag we can provide a better irrigation sa ating crops. Then of course, when it comes to nutrient distribution, so kapag nag-apply tayo ng nutrients or ng nutrients sa crops, then with the irrigation system na meron tayo ay magkakaroon ng even distribution yung mga nutrients doon sa ating mga crops na necessary for the plants to grow healthy and produce better yield. So it improves yung quality ng ating crops because yung ating with a good irrigation ay magiging less din yung mga likelihood ng diseases or infestation resulting in healthier and higher quality produce. Okay? Then of course, yung ating mga farmers can extend yung growing season. So hindi sila nakadepende doon sa ulan ngayon because if we have an irrigation system, so meron tayong steady supply ng water, instead of one cropping season ay pwedeng multiple cropping, 2 or maybe 3 in a year if we have a good irrigation supply. And then of course, kapag ganon ay na-increase din yung productivity ng area plus yung profit or income ng ating farmers ay nadadagdagan. Okay? And then it will support yung ating diverse crops. So depende yan. Different crops ay mayroong different requirements. So kung rice, siyempre mas madami yung kanyang requirement na tubig. Then kung vegetable is much less. Okay? So kung meron tayong mga ganong crops, then definitely if we have a better irrigation, ay magta-thrive yung mga crops na mas nangangailangan ng tubig o mas malakas yung kanilang consumption kapag meron tayong irrigation. Okay? And then of course, economic benefits. It will support yung livelihood ng ating farmers. Sabi nga natin kanina, may increase yung kanilang income dahil mas madaming beses silang nakakapagtanim in a year. So it will contribute dun sa overall economy particularly dun sa mga agricultural communities. So there are different types of irrigation systems. So generally, meron tayong tinatawag na surface irrigation, no? So yan yung application ng water dun sa ating mga crops by flow over the soil surface through gravity. Okay, so for example niyan is yung usual na tinatawag nating conventional method, which is yung furrow irrigation, then you have your border check. So those are some of the examples ng surface irrigation. Then of course, yung ating topic ngayon is included dito, which is yung sa pressurized irrigation system, wherein yung ating irrigation is applied through a pressurized pipe system, no? And emitters or sprinklers. So nandyan yung sprinkler system natin and yung drip irrigation. Now, the question is, meron ba tayong masasabi na most suitable irrigation method? So, we cannot say na yung isa is much better than the other. Okay? Kasi, if you look at different irrigation system, meron kang, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin mas maganda yung isa doon sa isa. Kasi, there are a lot of factors that will contribute kung kailan mo gagamitin yung isang irrigation system. Okay? So, depende yan. So, these are some of the factors na dapat nating i-consider. So, unang-una, syempre, ano ba yung crop na itatanim? So, are you going to plant rice? So, if you're going to plant rice, would you use drip irrigation or sprinkler? Diba? So, we need to know kung anong crops yung ating itatanim. Then, of course, the topography. So, kung rolling, would you use furrow irrigation? O mas applicable ba yung sprinkler or drip? Okay? Then, yung water supply natin. So, meron ba tayong consistent or reliable source ng water doon sa area? O nakaasa tayo sa tubig ulan? So, paano natin titipirin yung available na water doon sa area if we have a limited water supply? Okay? Then, of course, yung climate, then available ba yung may energy availability ba doon sa area? So, if we're going to use, say, drip irrigation, meron bang grid doon sa area? Or pwede ba tayong gumamit ng yung nauuso ngayon, solar power? Diba? Okay? Then, of course, the operation and management skills. So, very important, especially doon sa mga sophisticated system like drip and sprinkler. So, syempre, tayo naman kapag nag-i-introduce ng mga technologies sa ating farmers is we need, of course, to capacitate them para hindi masayang yung mga technologies na ini-introduce natin sa kanila. Okay? Then, of course, yung soils. Kapag clay or sandy, so we need also to consider then kung anong particular na irrigation system ang ating gagamitin. Then, of course, the farming equipment and yung cost. Ito yung laging tinatanong ng mga farmers. Kaya ba ng farmers kapag yung system natin is ito yung cost niya? Okay? So, yun yung isa. Then, we will proceed dito sa drip irrigation. So, when you say drip irrigation, that is a type of micro-irrigation system that delivers water directly doon sa roots ng ating plants. Okay? So, hindi ito tulad noong furrow irrigation na papasadahan mong ganon, minsanan yung bugso ng tubig. So, dito, drip lang siya, patak-patak, sabi nga. So, with the drip irrigation, nagdi-drip lang yan slowly doon sa soil, either doon sa soil surface or directly doon sa root zone. So, you can install kasi yung drip system mo sa surface or either subsurface. Okay? So, drip lang ito ang application ng water natin. Okay? So, with the drip irrigation kasi ay hindi lahat yung buong area ay babasain mo. Kung nasan yung crop mo, doon ka lang nagdidilig. Okay? Since drip ito ay nami-minimize din yung na-discuss kanina ng mga losses, mga evaporation, runoff, and deep percolation. So, since drip ito ay na-absorb agad nung soil, yung water na nami-minimize yung mga losses. Okay? So, ito lang naman yung mga components ng isang drip irrigation. Of course, you need to have a water source. Okay? Very important. So, it can be a well. So, kung meron kayong tubo na nakabaon doon, may tosang, pwede na yon, or a reservoir, or yung municipal water supply. Pwedeng maging mga source ng water yan. Okay? Then, of course, yung ating filtration system. If you are going to use drip irrigation, very prone ito sa clogging. Kaya kailangan mo ng magandang filtration system para ma-minimize mo yung clogging dun sa mga emitters. Once kasi na nag-clog yon ay medyo challenging kung paano mo siya ito troubleshoot. It's either palitan mo yung buong line or kung napapalitan yung emitter ay papalitan mo siya. Kaya lang iisa-isahin mo yon. So you need to have a good filtration system. Then of course yung pressure regulation. So ito yung isang buhay niyan, the pressure regulation. Kasi if you're going to buy yung mga emitters, merong mga specified na discharge rate yan. So for example, 2 liters per hour. So sinong magdidictate nung 2 liters per hour na discharge rate niya? That would be yung pressure. Kung hindi mo mamimit yung pressure requirement, definitely maapektuhan yung discharge rate ng mga emitters na yon. And you will not be able to apply kung anong particular yung water requirement na kailangan ng iyong crop. So you need to be very careful pagdating doon sa pag-identify ng pressure or pag-set ng pressure ng iyong system. Then of course you have your main line and sub-main line. So ito na yung delivery system ng iyong drip irrigation. Then sabi nga natin, meron tayong tinatawag na yung mga emitters natin. So ito na yung nagdi-deliver nung water natin doon sa mga plants or sa mga crops natin. So yung ibang system, yung ibang drip system, meron ng mga embedded na emitters. So for example, yung drip tapes, okay? So meron ng mga embedded na emitters doon sa drip lines niya. Meron din naman yung bibili ka ng emitters, then ipapunch mo yung hole doon, then you're going to install yung mga emitters na yon. Okay? But, syempre, may advantages tsaka disadvantages yon. For example, sa drip tape, since meron na siyang embedded na emitters, yung distance nung mga emitters na yon ay yun na talaga yon. For example, bibili ka ng drip tapes na ang distance ng mga emitters is 25 cm, for example. Kaya dapat, yung itatanim mong crops is dapat within the range lang din or nandun ang required na spacing niya per hill. So 25 cm, yun lang. Or 50, pwede din naman. Mag-i-skip ka nga lang ng isa. Okay? So, kumbaga, hindi mo pwedeng i-adjust na yung spacing ng mga drip emitters na yon. So, unlike doon sa isa na yung emitters ay pwede mong i-punch and then i-install. So, mamimit mo kung ano yung requirement ng spacing ng iyong mga crops. Okay? So, ganun siya. Then, of course, you have your control valves and timers. So, yung mga nagiging high-tech ngayon ay pwede na nating kontrolin yung mga valves na to. So, pwedeng time-based or pwedeng sensor-based. Okay? So, yun na yung mga nagiging trend natin ngayon when it comes to drip irrigation. So, kapag meron kang time-based, di syempre, time lang, kailan siya magpapatubig, gaano katagal, or kung gusto mong high-tech talaga or medyo advanced, sabihin natin, is you can install sensors. Okay? So, kapag na-meet or deplete yung moisture content mo dun sa lupa at na-sense ng sensor, based on the threshold na i-set mo, ay automatic mag-on yung iyong system or automatic na mag-i-irrigate. Okay? So, syempre, merong mga disadvantages. Unang-una yung cost. Okay? So, syempre, yung mga cost ng drip irrigation system is, let's say, medyo expensive talaga yan. So, you need to invest dun sa mga components na kailangan mo. Yung mga nabanggit natin kanina. Okay? Kaya nga, if you're going to use drip irrigation, be sure na yun yung itatanim mong crop is talagang high value naman. Okay? Huwag yung maggagamit tayo ng drip irrigation sa kamote or kangkong. Medyo malulugi tayo doon, no? So, tingnan nyo yung pag-select din ng crop. So, you need to have an idea kung anong crop yung itatanim mo. So, pwede namang Japanese melon. Oh, magkano ba ang Japanese melon? Diba? Expensive ang Japanese melon. So, yung mga ganon, para yung return on investment mo ay medyo mas maganda, mas mabilis mong mababawi yung gastos mo. Okay? Then, of course, sabi ko nga kanina, yung clogging issues. Okay? So, kailangan meron kang magandang filtration dun sa iyong system dahil kapag merong mga debris yung water source ay mahihirapan ka dito. So, sabi ko nga, either palitan mo yung buong drip lines or iisa-isahin mo na i-check yung mga emitters mo. Okay? Then sa maintenance, you need to conduct regular maintenance ng iyong system para na-assure mo na working yung mga system mo, walang mga clog na emitters. Okay? So, kailangan natin ng technical know-how kung paano gagawin yon. Kaya nga, during trainings, yun yung mga ini-introduce natin sa mga farmers. Okay? Then, of course, yung system design complexity. Hindi ito basta-basta na ile-layout natin. So, merong mga computations, syempre, na kailangan mong gawin on how you can come up with a good layout ng iyong system. Okay? So, dapat titingnan mo yung layout mo in a way na pwede kang makatipid dun sa mga drip lines mo. Hindi pwedeng salasalabat yung ating sistema, no? So, you need to lay out yung system para ma-minimize mo din yung mga gagamitin mong materials. Okay? Then, power dependency, maybe, pwede pa rin siyang disadvantage. But, sabi ko nga ngayon, with the advent of the solar or photovoltaic system, ay pwede naman na natin siyang integrate doon sa drip irrigation system natin. So, pwede nang yun ang mag-power doon sa ating system. Okay? Then, syempre, ito na yung paano ba na-transform nung drip irrigation yung crop production system natin. So, we know naman that drip irrigation kasi, this is a water conservation technology. No? So, with that, if you're going to utilize drip irrigation, so nasa 30 to about 50% ang iyong nasa-save. Okay? So, can you imagine that? Yung sinabi nga kanina ni Sir Ramos is, yung consumption ng rice is 4,000 liters. Tama ba? To just produce a 1 kilogram of rice. So, kung drip irrigation, pwede kaya yung ganun. So, we can, pero sabi ko nga, hindi naman, depende sa crops yan. But with 30 to 50% savings ay napakalaki niyan. Okay? So, reduce with growth. So, dahil nga yung drip mo ay dun lang or yung irrigation mo ay dun lang sa mismong crop, other areas ay dry at nami-minimize yung paglaki ng mga weeds na pwedeng mag-compete doon sa ating mga plants. Okay? And then, of course, yung nutrient management. So, sa drip irrigation kasi, you can also, at the same time, apply yung fertilizer requirement ng iyong crop. Yun yung ang tinatawag nating fertigation system. Okay? So, mami-minimize mo na yung trabaho ng farmer na hiwalay pa yung kanyang pag-a-apply ng fertilizer doon sa kanyang irrigation. So, with this system, combination na siya. So, ilagay mo yung iyong nutrient solution doon sa drum, and then automatically ay kasama na siya doon sa irrigation. Okay? Then sabi nga natin, reduce yung evaporation and runoff dahil nga ito ay drip, unlike doon sa flooding na mataas talaga ang runoff doon. So any excess doon sa furrow irrigation ay nagiging losses na yon. So dito sa drip ay nami-minimize natin yon, especially if you're going to use mga sensors to monitor yung moisture requirement ng ating mga crop. Okay? Then adaptability. So ibig sabihin, you can use your drip irrigation even dun sa mga rolling areas. Di ba? So kung hilly yung pagtatamnan mo, mga tabing bundok, so you can still use yung drip irrigation. And ang assurance doon is you will still have a better application uniformity. Kasi yung emitters mo is still producing or is still discharging the same amount of water doon sa iyong mga plants. Okay? Then of course, yung labor saving. Kung gagamitan mo siya ng mga automation, so yung farmer mo, even with, kung nandun man sila sa inyong sa kanilang mga bahay, they can still irrigate. So nababawasan yung labor requirement natin. Okay? Then of course, you have your increase in crop yield. So dun sa mga research na ginawa namin, ay at least meron kaming mga increase about 30% ng yield dun sa mga crops na tinest with the drip irrigation system. Then soil health preservation, kasi na-minimize natin yung napiprevent natin yung crusting ng area, na mi-minimize din natin yung compaction, so nakakapag-penetrate or nagiging maganda yung root growth ng ating crops. Then of course, environmental sustainability, dahil nga yung ating system is you are using less water, so medyo nakakatulong tayo doon sa conservation ng freshwater resources natin. Okay? So, some of the projects na ginawa ng CLSU, so we started siyempre yung mga sensor-based system, no? Sa different crops using drip irrigation. So ito yung sinasabi natin kanina, that with the drip irrigation system you can integrate yun ang sinasabi nating mga Internet of Things, na kahit nasa bahay lang yung farmers natin, they can still irrigate yung kanilang crop using yung cellphone. And the good thing about this is yung mga young generations natin, no, pwede na natin silang hikayatin na bumalik sa agriculture or take a course in agriculture or take agriculture related courses. Yan kasi yung nagiging problem natin with the sabihin natin yung notion sa agriculture na mahirap. 'Di ba? So nahihirap yung humikayat ng mga young generations to really go into agriculture kasi nga unang-una pa lang we as a parent ay yun na yung kinokondisyon na natin yung ating mga anak na huwag kang pumunta dyan dahil mahirap. Tama ba? Mahirap mag-agriculture, yan. Doon ka sa bukid. Ngayon, with integration ng ating mga technologies or with the advancement ng ating technologies, ay pwede na kahit nasa bahay yung anak mo, magpatubig ka nga sabi doon sa bukid. Asan ba yung cellphone? Pindutin niya lang, ay pwede na. Di ba? So yung mga ganong strategies. Okay. So syempre meron din sa sugarcane. So nag-install kami dito ng subsurface drip irrigation, and sa sugarcane ay we were able to increase yung yield ng about 30%, no? And then we have also utilized drip irrigation sa onion and garlic production. We were able to save about 40% ng water as compared to dun sa conventional. Then we were able to produce a more uniform bulb, okay? And then yung yield niya is about nasa 50% higher than the national average pagdating dito sa onion and garlic production. So ito naman is sa mga citrus. So sabi ko nga ito sa mga hilly areas, okay? And then some sensor-based drip irrigation for tomato, and then yung sa ating Dutch bucket and tower garden, then definitely we can use yung drip irrigation system dito sa mga technologies na to. So definitely dito sa Dutch bucket and tower garden ay you cannot use any other system, sabi nga. Hindi naman pwedeng furrow irrigation ang gamitin mo diyan. Hindi matatamnan yung, or matutubigan yung taas. So, yan. So with the drip irrigation system, yung mga ganitong technologies ngayon ay pwede na nating gamitin. Okay? So some Dutch bucket, ayan, may drip irrigation din siya. So that's all for my presentation. Again, thank you very much for listening, and good afternoon.